solve the system. I notice that this system, I have two equations in slope-intercept form. And here's what I observe is that this, 2x plus 11, is equal to y. And this, negative 3x minus 14, is also equal to y. Well, if this is equal to y, and this is equal to y, then 2x minus 11 must be equal, plus 11, must be equal to negative 3x minus 14, right? Because they're both equal to the same thing. So now that I have this equation, I can go ahead and solve. I have x's on both sides. I'm going to go ahead and move the x's off the right side. Okay. Notice this is a negative 14. And now I'm going to get x by itself. I'm dealing with my addition and subtraction first here. I'm going to divide to get x by itself. And I get x equals negative 5. Okay. Now that's my x value. Remember, when I'm solving a system, I need an x and a y. So how can I find the y value? I can plug this x back in. And in fact, what I can do, look, is I can plug it into both equations. And that kind of checks my answer. Okay, so here, for example, this becomes negative 10 plus 11, that's 1. So that's y equals 1. This becomes negative times negative is positive, 15 minus 14, that's also y equals 1. So I got the same two answers. That's going to check my answer, and I know for sure that's correct. Is 4, negative 5 a solution to this system of equations? Let's check. This is an x value, this is a y value. So I'm going to take this equation first. Y equals 3x minus 17. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to replace the y with this y value. I'm going to replace the x with this x value. And let's see if it works. I'm doing the math. 3 times 4 is 12. And 12 minus 17 is negative 5. So I get negative 5 equals negative 5. So it is a solution to this equation. Let's see if it's a solution to this equation as well. 2 times 4 is 8. Negative 3 times negative 5 is positive 15. 8 plus 15 is 23, so I get 23 equals 10. Nope, that's not correct, so that's a no. I have to get two correct equations for it to be a solution to the system. Okay, solve the system. Now, what I notice is that this is like this. I have two equations in standard form, so I think, excellent, I'm going to use elimination. But then I feel disappointed because I look and I see I don't have, these are not opposites. They won't just cancel. Same here, these are not opposites. They won't just cancel. So what I do is I'm going to multiply the equations to create the situation I want, which is I want opposites. Now, I could choose to multiply the top by 5 and the bottom by 3. That would get me negative 15 and positive 15. Or I could choose to multiply the top by, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to multiply the top by negative 3 and the bottom by 2. That'll get me negative 6 and positive 6. Both the things that I just mentioned are totally equal, but I'm just going to do this one. So negative 3 times negative 3 is 9. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6y. Negative 3 times negative 12 is positive 36. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 3 is positive 6y. 2 times 20 is 40. These cancel. 9 plus 10, I get 19x equals 36 plus 40 is 76. I divide by 19 on both sides, and I get x equals 4. Okay? As always, with solving a system, I only have an x value, so I need to plug back in. I'm just going to take this top equation right here, and instead of x, I'm plugging in 4. Okay, so I get negative 12 plus 2y equals negative 12. When I add 12 to both sides, I get 2y equals 0. So when I divide by 2, I get y equals 0. Now, before I enter in the final exam, I would probably just check really quick. So if I plugged in 4 here, that'd be 5 times 4 is 20, plus 3 times 0 would be 0. 20 equals 20, perfect. Slope and y-intercept. This one is easy peasy lemon squeezy. Here's your m, that's your slope. Here's your b, that's your y-intercept. Negative 5, 16. The y-intercept, here's what you have to remember about the y-intercept. It is always, 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 the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to put a 0 right there, right? Because the y-intercept of a line is always the point where it hits the y-axis. So that point is always going to be 0, a number. So I'm going to just go ahead and plug in 0 for y right here. This cancels. This leaves me with negative 5y equals 10. I'm going to divide by negative 5. I get y equals negative 2. And that is my answer. Slope of the line. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Okay, you don't need to memorize the formula. It'll be given to you on the final. Here are your numbers you're going to plug in. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Negative 5 minus 2, that's negative 7. 1 plus 4, this becomes a plus. 1 plus 4 is 5. This is what you would enter, negative 7 over 5. Last one. How many solutions do each of these graphs show? Each image has 2 lines. Okay, remember, the solution is where the lines meet. So this line right here, these 2 lines right here, they meet once. This is one solution. These 2 lines are parallel. They never meet. They'll never meet. They'll go on forever. They'll never meet. That's no solution. And this, look, it says each image has 2 lines. So this is a line and another line sitting on top of it. Where do they meet? They meet everywhere, right? They meet all along the whole line forever and ever this way and forever and ever this way. That's called infinite solutions.